Look, okay, I know exactly what you lot are thinking right now.
Why is he making another one of these videos? Desmond is not in the game. He died when he touched that globe orb thingy.
And most of the time, like 99% of the time, I would have said you were right, and this is a very big but, I truly believe he is alive and that we saw him in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm going to tell you why. Also, huge spoilers for the entire modern day story of Assassin's Creed, and spoilers for the ending of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, bitches, you have been warned, so don't go and complain in the comment section that you got something spoiled, alright?
Okay, so the modern day of Valhalla brought back two classic modern day characters, Sean Hastings and Rebecca Crane. These two legends have been in the game since the beginning. They were there when we killed Lucy, they were there when Desmond got his body rocked, and they were even there when Galena kicked Oxoberg's ass, so it's great to see them back.
But it's not great that we no longer get to see Galena.
I know. This time they are working directly with Layla as she makes her way through Eivor's story in the Animus. Outside of Eivor in the modern day, we can use the laptop and listen to different audio clips that Sean recorded of Desmond. Huge feels.
I tried to cry during this bit, but I couldn't help it.
And then in the story, it turns out to stop the world ending again, we need to repair the magical barrier that Desmond created when he sacrificed himself. And to do that, we must travel deep underground to an ISU base where another orb has been for years and years.
Just make sure you're careful down there, because that shit looks like Mustafa from Star Wars. Don't want to end up doing an Anakin.
She's then strapped into this huge animus arm thing that kind of looks like the one from the Assassin's Creed movie, which I'm sure we all like. No? Okay then. But otherwise, she is transported into another space, another dimension, created by the Isu or the ones who came before, and in there she meets this glowing figure.
Who is it?
Well, this figure is covered in a glowing light, so you cannot see any part of who they are, other than that they are a man. We also know this due to how he sounds when he speaks. This person appears to know Layla and confirms that himself and Layla are in fact in the grey.
Oh, see, that makes so much more sense. Just like how Juno was in the grey.
Exactly. Now, if we go back a few years to Assassin's Creed Unity, we know that Juno left behind a bunch of hidden voice messages that the player can listen to. In these notes, she states that we will follow her into the grey, and from a memo in Unity, we know that Juno speaks about having Desmond with her and that they cannot leave.
Damn, that wretched bitch.
Now, this is the theory. At the end of Assassin's Creed 3, when Desmond sacrifices himself to save the world, he placed his hand on the orb and dies. But what if his consciousness entered into the grey with Juno? And from this, Desmond has been able to live in a way that can only be accessible through the use of one of these devices. Whilst being within the grey, Desmond could have used this time to try and fully understand the inner workings of the environment in which he lays, because all of human history will simultaneously converge onto him.
Oh, smart words, smart words.
Now, at the end of Valhalla, Layla touches a similar orb to that of Desmond's in AC3, but instead of dying, she is placed in front of this glowing man. Her body useless in the physical world just like Desmond's, but her mind still intact within the grey. During his speech, he goes on to say that 8 years ago, the odds of Layla arriving here were slim. Okay, fair enough, but why just 8 years ago? Surely someone with this much power and knowledge would know everything in the years before. But in fact, Desmond was killed 8 years ago in 2012. Now, if I know the AC writers and Darby like the way the most of you do, and the way this story has been intertwined with the others in the franchise, then this was not coincidental. Not only this, he goes on to say that this is his new life, meaning he had another one before, and that his purpose here is to read all of the different possibilities throughout time to try and fix what they started years ago, and the only way to continue that mission was to get Layla to slow down the machine. And as Layla decides to stay with the reader, she exclaims that she needs to stay and fix this for the people she cares about and loves. Something the reader explains he knows what that feels like. And as the cutscene ends, Layla's body transforms into a glowing being just like the reader.
Whoa.
Now, if the reader knows how Layla feels about protecting the people she loves, then before this he must have had a life, he must have had friends, family, people he cared about, and he made the ultimate sacrifice to save them. Plus, the reader really sounds like Desmond Miles, just with a more monotone voice, but what do you expect when you've spent years within a place with just the colour grey to keep you company?
Plus, Nolan North is always a win.
You're not wrong. So guys and girls, to end it off here, my theory is that the reader is Desmond Miles, and he's been tasked with trying to save the world once again, and now we have Layla in there with him. Let me know what you think about this theory in the comment section down below, as I think it is pretty solid based on what we've known from the game. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then click the like button down below and do not forget to subscribe for more Assassin's Creed Valhalla videos. Now, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.